Meth use in the area has been a problem for more than a decade, and it's a problem that's getting worse.
Now, the Missouri Highway Patrol reports the state is on track to have a record-setting number of meth lab seizures, with more than 1,200 labs seized so far this year. And the problem is everywhere.
Mitch Weber talked with the local law enforcement to find out how you could be unknowingly exposed to meth's dangerous contents.
Elizabeth and Mark, a plastic water bottle or 2-liter pop bottle tossed in a park may not look like much, but it could lead to an explosive situation, one that could severely burn you.
Methamphetamine use in Kansas and Missouri first started on the stove. Now it's in soda bottles.
It's not quite as big a process, but it's an even bigger problem.
Kansas City, Missouri Police Sergeant Tim Witchig and his meth team are on call 24 hours a day.
They don't need that heat source. The chemical reaction does it all on its own.
His team is made up of detectives, forensic specialists, and chemists. In the past, their investigation started inside a house or an apartment after a meth explosion. These days, the cooking space can be anywhere, found at any time by anyone.
We see this a lot.
It's all because of the new method of making meth called shake and bake.
So you have to hide somewhere. So that's why you're finding an abandoned building, or you're finding an abandoned home, or you go off into the woods into a city park.
Kansas City police tell 41 Action News they investigated 28 meth labs last year, and so far this year, that number has doubled to about 65 labs. Some you might not recognize.
You don't need a chemistry degree to do this.
Even at the federal level, DEA Special Agent Jeffrey Scott says even smaller lab users are coming up with creative ways to hide their stash.
We've seen them sewn into clothing. We've seen them hidden in cars. We've seen them hidden in fruit and vegetables.
And the byproduct is just as dangerous.
If you create a pound of meth, you're going to leave behind about 6 to 7 pounds of hazardous waste product.
What you have in your hand, you have a bomb.
A 2005 law restricted purchases of one of the key components of meth, pseudoephedrine, found in some over-the-counter cold medicine. Witchig says now that pseudoephedrine is harder to get, cooks are using all kinds of household items that can become even more dangerous than the old way addicts produce meth.
This is a dead giveaway.
In his mobile meth lab, Witchig demonstrates how some cooks open and strip lithium batteries and use even fertilizers.
We need ammonium nitrate in here as well.
He says the end product is what's dangerous.
They're left with this sludge, and it's sitting there on the ground waiting for the Good Samaritan to come pick it up.
And if someone should pick it up, the whole thing could explode.
Now, if you think you've stumbled upon this sort of meth lab, contact police immediately. Tonight on 41 Action News at 10, we'll introduce you to a local company trained to detect and clean up meth residue in homes. We've also posted material on KSHB.com, including an interactive map with state-by-state meth contamination disclosure laws and a DEA training exercise showing a one-pot batch of meth that resulted in a fire. Mitch Weber, 41 Action News.